quarterback. I think, one, everything that you do when you're a quarterback, I don't care if you're first, second, or third, is a job.
In a shocking twist, Dan Orlovsky, the same analyst who once tore into Shedeur Sanders with zero mercy, just came forward with a full-blown apology. This is the same guy who said Shedeur was one of the worst throwers in the game, even questioning if he'd ever belong in the NFL. But after that jaw-dropping performance against the Titans, Orlovsky had no choice but to eat his words. He's not just backtracking, he's praising Shedeur now, calling him the best quarterback for the Cleveland Browns. Can you believe it? The man who once laughed off Shedeur's future in the league is now breaking down film like a proud fan. Before the draft, Orlovsky practically wrote Sanders off, saying he didn't have NFL mechanics or mental toughness. But Shedeur didn't just prove him wrong, he shut down every critic in one swoop. The kid's growth, resilience, and straight-up poise have turned doubters into believers overnight. So, what flipped the script? How did Shedeur go from being mocked on live TV to being hailed as one of the most promising rookie quarterbacks in the game? Let's dig in. Back in preseason, Dan Orlovsky was brutal, like personal brutal. He picked apart Shedeur's interviews, mocked his confidence, and called him too Hollywood for the NFL. Some fans even said it felt like Orlovsky had a grudge. He'd roll clips of Shedeur smiling and try to frame it like arrogance instead of confidence. But now, oh, how the tables have turned. After watching Shedeur torch defenses and drop dimes under pressure, Orlovsky's tune completely changed. In his latest analysis video, Orlovsky didn't just hand out compliments, he gave respect. He broke down Shedeur's pocket awareness, timing, and precision, even pointing out how mature his decision-making has become. "This kid is legit," he said with genuine admiration. That's coming from the same man who once seemed desperate to see Shedeur fail.
Okay, so you're using that as a negative against the kid?
I don't understand.
Jesus, God, would you give him a chance?
Well,
My God,
here's the
because his
thing.
arm's sore?
Yeah.
What, that's a negative? That the kid's got a sore arm?
Yes!
Because he's working?
And the wildest part, Dan's now comparing Shedeur to some of the league's best young quarterbacks, putting him right up there with names like CJ, Stroud, and Jordan Love. From hate to hype, it's one of the biggest turnarounds in sports media this season. Now the real question is, what did Orlovsky finally see that the rest of us already knew? Let's break down exactly how Shedeur forced his biggest critic to finally admit the truth. When Dan Orlovsky broke down one of Shedeur Sanders' throws under heavy pressure, he didn't hold back. He said it was the best throw he's ever seen from any quarterback. That's wild, coming from a man who once doubted Shedeur at every turn. For months, Orlovsky's harsh takes and cold remarks seemed endless, but now the tone has flipped completely. Still, fans are watching closely. Is this a real change of heart, or just Dan trying to stay on the right side of the story now that Shedeur's winning? Only time will tell if he truly means it, or if he'll switch up again when the winds change. But Orlovsky isn't the only one walking back his words. Oh no, he's got company! Tony Grossi, one of the loudest Shedeur critics out there, has now made a full 180. That's right, the same Tony Grossi who once trashed Shedeur's talent is now singing his praises, even claiming that Sanders is flat out better than Dylan Gabriel. You heard that right. The man who used to roll his eyes every time Shedeur's name came up is now pushing for him to be the Browns' official franchise quarterback. What a plot twist. Tony Grossi was always quick to throw shade. He'd question everything, Shedeur's mechanics, attitude, even his drive to compete. Back when Shedeur mentioned some soreness in his arm during training, Grossi went on live TV and mocked him, saying it was funny to hear about soreness from a guy getting fewer reps than other QBs. That wasn't just criticism, it was straight disrespect. He tried to paint Shedeur as soft, as someone who couldn't handle the grind. But through all that noise, Shedeur stayed cool and focused. He knew Grossi's words didn't define his worth, his game would do the talking. And wow, did it ever. After Sunday's game, when Shedeur led the Browns back into the fight against the Titans, Grossi couldn't deny it anymore. He saw it live. The leadership, the poise, the calm under pressure. And it hit him that this kid isn't just potential, he's the real deal. On his post-game segment, Grossi actually praised Shedeur for commanding the offense like a veteran. That's something no one expected to hear from him. Hearing those words from Tony Grossi, a man who built his rep off harsh takes and blunt opinions, says everything. It shows how far Shedeur's come, how much he's grown, and how he's flipped the narrative entirely. Now even his toughest critics are scrambling to get back on his good side. Shedeur Sanders didn't just prove them wrong, he made them believers. The whole league is watching now, realizing that the conversation around this young quarterback has officially changed forever. Critics like Dan Orlovsky, the same guy who once laughed at Shedeur Sanders and trashed his abilities, are now being forced to swallow their pride. They're finally admitting what fans have known all along. Shedeur isn't just good, he's one of the best young quarterbacks in the entire league. Orlovsky, who used to drag Shedeur's arm strength and style every chance he got, is suddenly breaking down his plays like a proud mentor. The turnaround is wild. He's now analyzing Shedeur's tape with respect, because at this point, even the harshest doubters can't deny what's happening on that field. It's crystal clear Shedeur's brilliance has become impossible to ignore.
Playing faster, that's probably the biggest gripe of him coming out of school. So this is the traditional under center bootleg. The big thing is after the fake, you gotta snap your head, find that end man.
Those critics who built their careers on calling him overhyped are now scrambling to save face, throwing out compliments like candy to stay relevant. They know if they keep denying his talent now, they'll look like fools later. The game has changed, and they're racing to catch up. At this point, it's not even about being right anymore, it's about admitting the truth that everyone can see with their own eyes. Shedeur Sanders is the future. The same voices that once tried to bury him are now the ones lifting him up, and that's what makes it so satisfying. From Tony Grossi suddenly calling him a franchise QB, to Dan Orlovsky labeling one of his throws the best he's ever seen, the turnaround is unbelievable. These guys aren't just praising him out of nowhere, they were forced to, because Shedeur's dominance left them no other choice. Every game he plays, Shedeur is rewriting the story, his story. This isn't about hype or luck. It's about a young man who took every insult, every doubt, and turned it into fuel. He's proving that he's not just a momentary spark, he's the flame that's lighting up Cleveland's future. What's happening right now isn't just another rookie breakout, it's a shift in the entire football narrative. The haters are running out of excuses, the analysts are changing their tune, and the fans? They're watching a new era begin right in front of them. So tell me, do you think Shedeur Sanders has finally silenced every critic once and for all? And what do you make of analysts like Orlovsky? Why and Grossi now scrambling to jump on the bandwagon they once mocked? Shedeur Sanders isn't just winning games, he's changing the culture. The same analysts who once called him too flashy or too confident are now using those exact traits to praise him. They're calling it swagger, leadership, and poise under pressure. Isn't that something? What they once labeled arrogance, they now call command. It's wild how fast the narrative flips when the numbers don't lie, and Shedeur's numbers are speaking loud. Every throw, every clutch moment, every comeback drive is rewriting how the league views him. Dan Orlovsky, Tony Grossi, and the rest of the talking heads are realizing something important. This isn't luck, this is evolution. Shedeur has elevated not just his own game, but the energy of the entire Browns locker room. You can see it, the chemistry, the confidence, the way teammates rally around him. He's leading like a vet, moving with that quiet fire that only true winners have. The kid's got that it factor, and now even the doubters are being forced to admit it. After years of hearing people question his maturity, Shedeur's now the one teaching lessons on and off the field. He's showing that focus, discipline, and self-belief can flip any script. And what makes it even better is how natural it looks. When he steps on that field, it's like the moment slows down for him. Defenders look panicked, while Shedeur just looks calm, cool, and locked in. Even rival players are starting to respect it. Opposing defenses can't rattle him anymore, and reporters who used to smirk when his name came up are now asking serious questions about his long-term ceiling. The tone has shifted completely. Cleveland hasn't had this kind of energy around a quarterback in years, and the fan base knows it. They see Shedeur as the spark that could finally turn the Browns into a real contender, not someday, but now. The same people who said he's not ready are suddenly calling him the face of the franchise. The same folks who mocked his style are now saying he's changing the image of what a Cleveland quarterback can be. That's not just growth, that's dominance. And let's be honest, it's not just about football anymore. Shedeur's story is about proving everyone wrong, about standing tall when the world says you can't.
Really, in a competitive situation, and he passed that test. He brought him back twice, although the second time they came up 2 points short, but still, the 2 touchdowns in the fourth.
That's what makes this rise so powerful. Every game he plays adds another chapter to one of the greatest redemption arcs the league has seen in years. The transformation of Shedeur Sanders has become the story everyone's talking about. What started as media doubt has turned into pure admiration, and now even the league insiders are calling him the real deal. It's crazy to think that just months ago, analysts were picking apart every little mistake he made. Now they're replaying his highlights like gospel. Every pass, every read, every comeback drive has become proof that this young quarterback isn't just surviving, he's thriving. Dan Orlovsky's latest breakdown said it all. He pointed out how Shedeur reads defenses with the calm of a 10-year veteran. Tony Grossi even admitted that Shedeur's command at the line of scrimmage reminds him of early Aaron Rodgers. That's high praise coming from a guy who used to clown him for his interviews. And fans, they can feel it too. The energy in Cleveland has completely changed. It's no longer about hoping for a win, it's about expecting one. What makes this moment so powerful is how Shedeur's handling all the noise. No bragging, no trash talk, just straight focus. Every time someone doubts him, he lets his game do the talking. That's what's making this story hit different. He's proving that real confidence doesn't need words, it shows up in crunch time when the lights are brightest. And let's not forget, this isn't just about one good game or one hot streak. This is about consistency, growth, and heart. Shedeur's proving that the Browns didn't just draft a player, they found a leader. Someone who can shift the entire direction of a franchise that's been desperate for stability and hope. The critics who once said he'll never last in the NFL are now saying he could be the future of the league. That's not hype, that's earned respect. Week after week, he's showing that his success isn't luck, it's hard work and talent finally meeting opportunity. Cleveland's got something special brewing, and everyone can feel it. Shedeur's changing the narrative, not just for himself, but for the whole team. His rise has forced the entire sports world to stop doubting and start believing. This offseason is shaping up to be massive for the Cleveland Browns, and it all revolves around one man, Shedeur Sanders. The front office knows exactly what's at stake now. They've got their franchise quarterback, the future of the team, and a rare opportunity to build something historic around him. But to pull it off, they need to make smart moves, the kind that elevate Shedeur, not hold him back. The Browns have already seen what happens when they surround him with weapons who can't keep up. It stalls, drives, and kills momentum. But when he's got reliable receivers, solid protection, and a play caller who trusts his instincts, he's unstoppable. You can see it, the rhythm, the confidence, the connection between quarterback and teammates that can only come from true chemistry. That's what this next chapter is about, finding the right fit around Shedeur Sanders. This offseason isn't just about adding talent, it's about setting a new standard. The Browns can't afford to repeat old mistakes. They've got to bring in guys who believe in the mission players, who want to fight beside their young quarterback, not compete against him for headlines. The organization has to lock in on building unity, loyalty, and hunger. That's how dynasties start. And make no mistake, the rest of the league is watching. They've seen how quickly Shedeur's turned Cleveland from an afterthought into a headline. Other teams are scrambling to figure out how to stop him, but when your own city starts believing again, that's a whole different kind of power. The Browns haven't felt this kind of excitement in decades, and fans are rallying behind their new leader like never before. What's crazy is how fast everything's changed from doubt to dominance, from mockery to respect.
Plays are intercepted. It's a different game altogether, and we're calling for Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders has already proven he's more than capable of carrying this team on his shoulders, but now it's Cleveland's turn to give him the support he deserves. Because if they do, this could be the start of something legendary. The energy's electric, the future's bright, and the mission is crystal clear. Surround Shedeur with the right people, and the Browns can finally rise to the top of one of the toughest divisions in football. This is more than just another off-season, it's the moment that defines the next decade for Cleveland. The buzz around Shedeur Sanders isn't slowing down, it's exploding. Every sports network, every analyst, every fan base is talking about this young quarterback who turned his doubters into believers. The same people who once questioned his accuracy, his leadership, and even his personality are now calling him the next big thing in the NFL. That's not hype, that's the reality of what Shedeur's doing right now. Dan Orlovsky, Tony Grossi, and all those critics who spent months nitpicking his every move have been forced to admit the truth. Shedeur Sanders is special. He's not just surviving in this league, he's commanding it. Every week, he's showing more growth, more confidence, and more control. The way he reads defenses, stands tall in the pocket, and delivers under pressure has completely changed the conversation. It's wild how the tables have turned. The same voices that once said he's not ready are now calling him the Browns' best hope in decades. Cleveland finally has a quarterback who brings both talent and swagger, a leader who inspires the entire locker room and fires up an entire city. And the fans, they can feel it. The excitement, the belief, the sense that this team might finally be heading somewhere great. But here's the real question, are these analysts truly seeing the light? Or are they just trying to stay relevant now that Shedeur's proving them wrong? It's easy to praise someone once they've made it. But where were all these compliments when he was grinding in silence, taking heat from every direction? Maybe this sudden wave of praise is genuine, or maybe it's just everyone jumping on the winning side. One thing's for sure, though Shedeur has changed the entire narrative. He's flipped doubt into belief, criticism into admiration, and silence into applause. The Browns have something special in this kid, and if they play it right, he could become the face of the franchise for years to come. So now we gotta ask, is this just a case of them trying to stay relevant, or do you think they genuinely see his potential? Do you believe Shedeur has what it takes to become the franchise quarterback for the Cleveland Browns and lead them to greatness? Let us know your thoughts below. Do you think the critics were right all along, or has Shedeur's performance finally forced everyone to give him the respect he deserves? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you on the next one.